Alright, so this is now day 2 playing Clash Royale free to play. I mean, of course, I've been playing for a long time, but this is day 2 of the account. I believe so, yeah, day 2 of the account. But today's a big day for the account because now is a good time to plan out just how the decks are going to go into the future. So, and for anyone who's watching, this is a good time for you to plan out which decks you're going to be using going into the future of your account as well. So, you remember I talked before about like beatdown and bait, so right now I'm playing like a beatdown bait hybrid thing, and then this is plain beatdown. But there are really 5 play styles. There are cycle, control, beatdown, spam, and bait. So, I've already explained beatdown and bait. Beatdown is build a big push, put a million things on the board at once, and then just overwhelm. Sheer force. Bait is they put a small spell on something, you abuse all the other things that they can't put a small spell on anymore. And then spam. Spam, I don't recommend you guys play spam right now. You need to be good at the game before you can play spam, ironically, because the thing with spam is that you have to spam correctly. You need to keep track of both their cycle and their elixir, and that's not something you're going to be able to do for a good while now. Next archetype is cycle. You remember I mentioned that Skellies and Gobs are cycle cards? Cycle is where you have a strong card, and your goal is to just play that card as many times as humanly possible. So you use a bunch of cheap cards so that you can get to your strong stuff more. So like Hog Rider is probably the most classic cycle card. You play a Hog Rider, and then you play like Skellies, Ice Spirit, Ice Golem, Log, and then you can play another Hog Rider because you've played enough cards that you've cycled around to it. So the point of cycle is play things as much as possible. And the last way to play the game is control. So control is the best archetype, really. It's the best, but it's the hardest to play, and it's the most easily overshadowed. So control, you're never actually going for direct tower connections. You don't need to get your win condition on the tower to win. What you're really going for is you play your stuff, they play defense, and then you hit spells on their defensive units and the tower. So you're not actually getting through on offense with your troops, you're getting through on offense with your spells. So it's called control because you're basically dictating the flow of the game. You say, I'm going to go in now, I'm going to kill your counter push. I'm going to go in again, I'm going to kill your counter push. So control, the reason why it's the best is because you can't block a spell. I mean, Monk can, but Monk is bad. So, I took a long, hard look at all of the possible archetypes that I could play, like cycle, control, beatdown, spam, and bait, and every single version of those, like hog cycle, hog control, hog beatdown, bait cycle, bait control, bait spam, bait beatdown, minor control, minor bait, minor beatdown, this is a really long list. So, I went through it, and I figured that hog beatdown is going to be the best deck, well, technically, the best deck to use for anti-mid-ladder would be, well, yes, actually, the best anti-mid-ladder deck is straight up hog beatdown. Completely. But we're going to need a deck before we can get to hog beatdown, because before I can make that deck, I need Firecracker, and Firecracker is all the way up here. It's going to be a while until I get Firecracker, so I'm going to need another deck that can hold me, can allow me to live until I unlock Firecracker. So we're going to need to pick something that isn't hog beatdown for now. So what I was looking at was I was going to make a bait deck, because bait is very good when you don't have high levels. Because, the reason why it's good is because, skeletons. I already explained this with skeletons. If skeletons are not a high level, whether level 1 or level 15, there's 3 of them, they're going to tank 3 hits. Or gobs. They do a lot of damage. Even if they're level 1, they still do a lot of damage because there's just a lot of them there. This will become a lot more apparent once we get Skeleton Army, because Skeleton Army, there's 15 skeletons. So even if it's a very low level, it's going to do a lot of damage, no matter what, basically. So bait is very good because it just the bait cards win their interactions really hard. So even if they're low level, instead of winning their interactions really hard, they win their interactions just barely. But the fact that they still do what they're meant to do means that they're worth using. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be using, but of course for now I can't actually even make the deck. I'll start making the deck. I have it planned out, so I know that we have these 4 cards. We are still missing 4 more cards before we can make the deck. We need Bats, Skeleton Army, Inferno Tower, and Goblin Barrel. We will get that in a couple arenas, so this will be where we get the Bats. This is Skarmy and Goblin Barrel, and then Inferno Tower is down here. So, yeah, we should be getting close to making our 3rd deck. So, until then, yeah, we're just gonna keep on moving. We got this nice 24-hour chest from the first day. That was actually kind of meh. Okay. Just keep on upgrading our cards. Since it's still early game, we should just upgrade everything as soon as we get it. We're also going to be doing these daily tasks again. I'm kind of hoping that we'll reach King Tower level 8 today, so that we can get events, because events are going to be huge for the account. So, yeah, it's just... Wait, I have an upgrade. What can I... Okay, there it is. Once we unlock events, we're going to start progressing a lot faster, but for now, all we have to do is just keep on going. So, I remember last time, actually, we faced 2 real people in a row at the end of the video, so we'll see if we do that, if we're starting to face only real people, or if we're going back to bots. Right, there was another thing I want to talk about. Split Archer, so this is probably a real person. Or maybe not. If he is a real person, he's kind of bad again. What was I gonna say? Right, at the end of the last video, I did something called card counting. That's where you count which cards they've played, so that you can figure out what their deck is. So, I realized I didn't explain it very much, so I'll explain it this time. You can only have 8 cards in a deck, right? So you can count how many different cards they play, and once you've counted 8, you know what their deck is. So I'm going to do that. I remember he played Minions, Archers, Knight, Musketeer, and Stab Goblins. So that's 5 of his 8 cards now I know that he's playing. He's got... And Spear Goblins, so that's 6 of his 8. So I know 6 of the 8 cards that he's playing in his deck. Did I count Archers? Archers, Musketeer, Knight, Stab Gobs. He's playing half decently, I'll give him that. This is probably a real person, by the way. Knight, Archers, Spear Gobs, Minions, Stab Gobs, Musketeer. I think that's all we've seen so far, so that's 6 of his 8 cards. I'll be waiting to see the last 2. Minions is a 7th. I'm actually ignoring those Spear Gobs. I don't mind taking a little damage right now because I'm building up a big push. I'm also going to ignore those Archers once they cross. And he knows that I want to ignore that Archer, so he played a Knight in front, which is smart, because by playing a Knight in front, I can't ignore it anymore. Looks like we're going to have to play well this game, so I'm going to swap to playing smart. You notice there I played Arrow's Fireball on his stuff. The reason why I did that is because when I play my spells, I'm not spending elixir on offensive cards, I'm playing elixir on stuff that kills his stuff. That doesn't make sense. What I'm saying is, when I play a spell on his units, I'm basically admitting, okay, I'm not going to get through here, but I'm going to get some tower damage. That is the essence of control, so I'm switching to more of a control playstyle right now because I realize that I'm probably not getting through this guy. He knows how to do the most basic interactions, which means that I'm not going to just automatically destroy him. But it looks like he got outcycled here, so I will be able to make something happen here. I'm waiting for him to play his Musketeer. I know he wants to. Never mind, no Musketeer. That should be game over. Yep, it's game. Okay. Yeah. He played cards And he certainly did play cards, but just not very well. I didn't have to play good. I was thinking as though I had to play good, but I did not. Unlocked a new card right now. It's Battle Ram. The Battle Ram is a new win condition. Remember I talked about win conditions like the Giant. They're the reason why you win. Battle Ram, as a card, is used in spam. Its purpose is kind of complicated, actually. The purpose of Battle Ram is that it's very good at punishing people when they're low on elixir. If you're both at 4 and you play the Ram, they're going to have to spend all 4 of their elixir to counter the Ram. There aren't many counters to the Ram that are less than 4 elixir. But if you're at 4 and they're at 2, only a 2 elixir lead, you can probably play that Ram and get a connection on the tower. So the Ram's purpose is to punish people who are down elixir. Though, since we're going to be an underleveled account, I'm not going to be using Ram because I'm never going to be up elixir pretty much. That's just how it's going to work. Collect my daily stuff, keep moving. It'll be interesting to see if we get a 4th real person in a row. This looks... yeah, this is a real person, okay. It looks like we're past the age of not real people, so it's going to continuously get harder and harder from here on out. I'm gonna arrows those. You notice I'm using my spells a lot more now. I don't mind only getting a little bit of damage on his towers. Before I used to be trying to just kill him entirely in the first push, but now as long as I get a little damage, I'm satisfied. So I don't care if I get what is it? I don't care if I get just arrows on his tower or just a couple Spear God hits. Any damage is damage. So he's playing Mini P.E.K.K.A, Arrows, Mega Minion, Tombstone, Battle Ram. That's 5 of his 8 cards. Counting his cards again. I realized I never finished counting the other guy's cards. Archers is 6 of 8. Valk is 7 of 8. You hate to see that interaction. I had to play my archers there. If I didn't play my archers, he would have gotten a Valk hit in the tower, and I'd really rather not take that. I have to protect my Gob Hut better. So, right now, since I'm playing a baity version of Beatdown, my win condition is protect my Goblin Hut so I can get extra Spear Gobs. Remember I said, as long as the Gob Hut is staying alive, it's creating extra Spear Gobs. If it dies, then it only creates like a mediocre amount of Spear Goblins, but if it stays alive the entire lifespan, it will create extra. So one way that I can win this game is by protecting my Spear Gob Hut. That was a very aggressive arrow, so I'm actually going to go in now. The reason why that was an aggressive arrows is because I only spent 2 elixir on my Spear Gobs, and he spent 3 elixir arrows on them. So he took a -2 trade, took a -1 trade to kill my Spear Gobs, on top of already being down however much elixir I had gotten from the Goblin Hut. Spear Goblin Hut. Oh, that's annoying. Looks like I didn't get through very far there. You just notice I got a little damage, but not much. So we're just gonna have to be satisfied with not trashing people in a single push now. I don't mind ignoring that Battle Ram. The Goblin Hut will actually take care of it. I'm going to Mini P.E.K.K.A behind my Giant now. Mini P.E.K.K.A is the strongest individual support unit we have right now because it hits really hard. It has a lot of health too. I'm really hoping, no, okay. I was hoping that he would play something that I could fireball. I'm still actually going to fireball that so that my Mini P.E.K.K.A stays alive for like a half second longer. Mini P.E.K.K.A his Battle Ram. Mini P.E.K.K.A is a great Battle Ram counter. You notice I try to always play it on the Battle Ram, but if I can't, then I can't. By the way, you'll notice how my bait and the playstyle of this deck is working around things. So I'm playing like almost a hybrid of bait beatdown control. I am setting up pushes, and I am trying to bait his spells, but I am also trying to get spell tower damage. So altogether, I'm playing like a combination of a million decks at once. You'll notice here, I got a successful beatdown push. I got 2 giants at the river, and now I took a lot of damage off of this tower in a single moment. I'm not going to let the battle ram connect this time. Last time I let the battle ram connect to my hut because it was already half health. This time I decided to protect my hut because it was right, like, new, it was at full health. But of course the arrows did immediately afterwards. I was kind of expecting those arrows. Whew, that almost connected. You notice I have a second giant. I remembered that 2 giants worked last time, so I'm careful to do it the same way the second time. And now it's over. I mean, look at how much stuff I have. Dude's angry. I'm sure there will be a lot of toxic people on this journey from the bottom to the top, but we will see. Since it's gonna get tougher, I'm gonna unlock Mega Minion. I just kind of like unlocking all the cards. Plus, I can explain it right now. Mega Minion is a general DPS troop. He's like Musketeer. He's not specifically good at killing any one thing. He's just good at killing everything. Card evolutions, the worst feature in the game. Hooray. So, they don't actually explain. I was kind of expecting a tutorial, but, so card evolutions, you see that little gray thing above the archer? That means it has an evolution. I don't have it unlocked because it's gray, not purple, but eventually, if I do have it unlocked, my archers will be just insanely overpowered. Everybody can have this insanely overpowered stuff, but there's a problem. It takes 6 months to unlock one, and you need 2 of them. So that's going to be the major struggle on this account. We're going to be needing at least 4, 6 months per. That means it's going to take at least 2 years minimum to max out this account. Just trying to get me to buy things. Not going to happen. There's 14 days. I'm not sure if I'm going to grind all the way to tier 60 in 14 days. That would be kind of a stretch. But every season after this one, we're going to be needing this shard, so we're going to have to play a lot. I mean, it makes sense. If you want to get to the end game as fast as possible, you're going to have to grind a lot. So, keep on moving. Playing real people. Continuing to play real people. I don't know what about the real people's names looks more real. Maybe it's the numbers on them. I don't know. I'm going to start with the Gobhut again. Gobhut is a pretty safe first play. I think I played that too high. Yeah, I played that too high. Okay. Okay, this guy's bad. Worse than the previous player. Oh, that doesn't cross? That sucks. Well. So, I will be... Actually, it's possible that he's better than the previous guy if he knew that cannon was going to target my hut. That would be an extremely niche interaction, so if he knew that, that would be surprising. I'm gonna see if he... Oh, I should have fireballed that. Okay. I'm gonna hut this. Spear God's low. Oh man, actually these people are playing surprisingly well, so I might swap my deck to have Knight again. I might swap to full on bait and no giant, because since I'm playing a hybrid deck, I am easily susceptible to people, I'm easily susceptible to better players because, of course, since this is not a competitively viable deck, if they just know the basics of how to play the game, it's just going to stop working. I didn't know Spear Gobs outranged archers. That's crazy. This guy is not actually that good. Maybe he's just been getting lucky so far or something? Can't tell. That knight's going to get a hit on my tower. It wouldn't have got a hit on my tower if everything was level 6, but thus starts the beginning of our level troubles. That also should have gotten a hit on the Valkyrie, but okay. I have to Gobhut this. Spear Gob's low. The reason why I played my Spear Gob so low like that is because I knew that the hut was going to die, so I wanted the units to pull as far as possible to stall them so that my tower would have time to kill them. I'm gonna minions here. Fireball this, that's good fireball value. wish I had saved my fireball for the musketeer now. And you pick up the back. Spear about to tank, archers. That's an odd fireball. I want to protect my mini P.E.K.K.A. now, because he spent 4 elixir to fireball my mini P.E.K.K.A., but I'm saying, okay, you fireballed my mini P.E.K.K.A., but it's still going to get value, so even though it's an equal trade in elixir counting, it's not going to be an elixir trade on the board. And because of that, I got myself my first giant hit of the game. You notice that this guy has a bunch of cards that are higher level than mine, which is why he's actually getting damage. I'm playing technically correct, it's just not working. You're gonna have to do some fancy things if you want to win this game. Namely, one of them is just fireball cycling. I can't kill his knight fast enough to also kill his ram before it gets to my tower, so I'm gonna Godhut to just eat ram charge. I'm going to arrows fireball that musketeer. It's a negative trade, but it gets it off the map, which means that I don't have to think about it on the counter push. I'm actually going to ignore this goblin hut because it's going in the opposite way. Oh, is he gonna ram? He's gonna ram. Okay. That was an important play I just made right there. Oh, level 6 knight made me take a whole lot of damage. If the knight was a lower level, the mini P.E.K.K.A. would have gotten a hit on the ram in time, but because it wasn't, it didn't. It really sucks for me. I'm gonna fireball arrows. I missed the... Oh, I'm getting minions on the tower? That's very good, very good. Okay. There's the bait aspect coming in. He didn't have anything for my minions. Giant tanking for them, and they did a lot of damage. That's terrible with battle ram, because my mini P.E.K.K.A. is just gonna slap it. He learned from his mistake, he fireballed my minions. We're in triple elixir now, so I can get 2 giants down. I'm going to... That doesn't kill, okay? I'm going to fireball arrows this to get this off the map as soon as possible. I don't want him having any rangers on the map, because I have way more units there. And you can see now it worked out. He had higher level stuff than me, so it was a much closer game than any game before this. Like, if you take a look at his levels, he's almost all level 6s, and I'm almost all level 5s. The 1 level difference is just huge. But, what was I saying? Yeah, because of that 1 level difference, like, I went from destroying people to almost getting destroyed. But, what was I talking about? I need to lean less into bait and more into playing beatdown. You know, the reason why he lost that game, by the way, is because he played that goblin hut opposite lane. It's 5 elixir. That's half your elixir bar. If I don't have to respond to 5 elixir, then he's down a lot. So it was ultimately a mistake from him that cost him that game, not me playing better. I'm gonna look at my cards and, like, update my deck a little bit. I know that I was saying that bait is better, but I think that for now, it's probably going to be safest for me to go with a different kind of bait. Minions, people don't know how to handle minions very well, so I'm going to go with this. This is a very dangerous game I'm playing here, having no rangers, but between these 3 melee troops and an air troop, I'm pretty sure that it's going to work out well, because people just aren't good enough to handle this. It's kind of funny that I had to modify my deck to counter bad players so early on, but gotta do what you gotta do. By the way, once we're making our 3rd deck, I will also show a higher skill version that I actually prefer to use, but since this is intended to be a guide for anybody to follow along with, I'm not going to be using the higher skill version. I'll just show it as something that you can possibly use. You can see this guy is also a real person by the fact he's in a clan. Though he plays like a bot, so this one should be much easier than the last one. He doesn't even know the basics. I'm gonna play my Gob Hut. Certainly is a cannon. It's a little awkward actually. The cannon is good now. Because he played his giant, I have to defend that giant with something, but if I defend the giant with something, then the cannon's gonna kill whatever I defend with, so it worked out for him. notice I'm leaning more heavily into bait by putting in more swarm. That's a terrible fireball. I'm going to set up a push. It's probably not going to work, given that all this stuff is higher level. I'm assuming all this stuff is higher level than mine, but... I wish I had a ranger right now. The best play that I would have is to play a ranger on that knight, but I have none. Let's see. Is this gonna work? You gonna play something? I'm gonna fireball. You're just letting that mini P.E.K.K.A connect, okay? I'm gonna goblin hut a tile lower. This will pull giants, but it will not pull battle rams. But since he's playing giant, he's probably not playing battle ram, so I don't mind playing it in a lower tile. Another reason I put stag gobs in my deck over spear gobs is because stag gobs are better against mini P.E.K.K.A. And the mini P.E.K.K.A is starting to cause me some problems. You gonna go in again? He's not gonna go in again. Okay. I suppose I was actually kind of smart baiting out my minions, because my minions are my most important support card right now. After the deck change, they're my most important support card. Before the deck change, it was mini P.E.K.K.A, and now it's minions. I'm gonna gobs behind this giant, because gobs are a pretty threatening card. They do a lot of damage per second. I'm gonna set up another goblin hut. You notice that the goblins distracted the mini P.E.K.K.A there, so my giant got one punch on the tower. I'm gonna... Whoa. Okay. You notice that I like to play my buildings in the middle? That it's not just personal preference, that is the correct way to play buildings. Once you have a second one, you can play it in the corner, but never at the river. At the river is too easy to kill them. You notice this guy did not actually the last guy, yeah, it went almost to the entire end of the game because he was playing decently. Right, there's something I should describe. So, what do I describe this? In Clash Royale, there's phases of the game. You have early game where you don't know what they're playing yet. You have mid game where you're just playing, and then I consider mid game once you're at like 1 minute left on the timer. So this guy definitely knows how to set up a push, which is scary. So this guy is probably going to be more advanced than the previous players. I'm going to have to be more wary here. Yeah, it's not a very good play, but it is certainly... He's playing with correct micro. So he played all of the correct things to get his giant on the tower there, but his issue was that he played too many things to get his giant on the tower there. You can only be so aggressive. If you're too aggressive, then they're just going to start getting damage back on the counter push. That's not something you have to really worry about right now because these players aren't good. I'm going to ignore that bomber because, never mind. I was going to ignore that bomber because there's only 2 elixir and I don't have any good counters to it in hand. But because he played his goblin hut, I can play my spear I can play my giant to tank for both the bomber and the... I can play my giant to tank for both the bomber and the spear goblins. I'm going to fireball this. It's a very odd play, I know. I didn't hit the goblin hut, but I did hit the mini P.E.K.K.A, and the mini P.E.K.K.A is very threatening to me because it hits hard. I didn't have anything good for it in hand. Plus, I would rather kill things on his side of the map. One of the most important things that you'll realize is that it's, if possible, it is better to kill things on the enemy side of the map, not your side of the map. Use target here first, and then that sucks. Okay. Well, looks like we defend, but it's hard defense. Now I wish I had spear gobs in hand. I wish I had spear gobs, but I can't play them because I took them out of my deck. So I'm gonna gobs to tank for these spear gobs. Since we're both playing giant goblin hut, the thing that's going to make us win is the same. So I have to play it better than he is because he has higher level stuff than me. Oh, now he's playing very poorly. Very poorly. So you notice there, I spent 7 elixir of spells, and I killed 9 elixir of troops. You should never let that happen. Not only did I get a positive trade, I killed his stuff, so I got damage while killing his stuff while getting a positive trade. That's worst case scenario. He just fireballed nothing, so... I mean, he fireballed my tower, but that doesn't actually kill my stuff, so that was pretty much over for him. Maybe gets a slap. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. I'll try to explain the reason why each player loses as I beat them. Remember this guy that I just beat now? The reason why he lost is because he played too many things in one area, and I hit them all with a spell combination. By the way, we just unlocked chest keys. This doesn't matter. Chest keys are useful for instantly unlocking a chest. So a 24-hour chest, like a full day chest, is a pretty good use of a chest key, so I decided to just instantly use it there. I'm assuming that we're just going to only face moderately competent players from here on out now, so I will be more careful. Never mind, that's not a moderately competent play. Minions actually do a lot of damage. They're weak to most things, but they do a lot of damage, so you really don't want to play into them. You want to get them off the map as soon as you can. He's got really high level stuff. He's playing Barbs, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Knight, Mega Minion. I don't want to play my Giant, actually, believe it or not, because he's got Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is a giant counter, and Mega Minion, which is a giant counter, and Minions, which are a giant counter, and Barbs, which are a giant counter. So he's got just a billion giant counters. So I would rather... Is he just letting me win? Did he give up? I think he gave up. Oh, that worked out with Dragons. But, I don't know what's up with this guy's playing style. He's playing cards, but it's like he's not thinking when he's playing cards. He's just slapping stuff on the arena and going, I wonder if this is gonna work. He's not looking for a reason why it will work. He's hoping that it will work. I think that's the best way to describe it. My Spear God Hut killed 6 elixir of his stuff there. I'm gonna continue to not Giant, because, once again, he's got so many counters to my Giant. If I play it, I'm pretty much just asking to get countered. I'm gonna play my Goblins in the river. I remember that he has a Mini P.E.K.K.A, so he's gonna want to counter my Mini P.E.K.K.A with his Mini P.E.K.K.A, like that. But because I played my Goblins, his Mini P.E.K.K.A was distracted while my Mini P.E.K.K.A killed his. So I ended up getting some good damage off of that. My arrows were a little bit late, but it didn't really matter. I cannot ignore that Mega Minion. If this was equal play, where everybody has equal levels, I would ignore that Mega Minion, but this is not, so I can't. That's a very bad... Oh. Something that I should explain to you now. When you're placing your spells, never hit their King Tower. You do not want their King Tower turned on. If you hit their King Tower with any sort of damage, it's going to start attacking. And if it starts attacking, then you're going to have a harder time getting through an offense, so you just never want it on. There are, like, a couple situations where it's okay, I guess, to have it on. I'm greedy. I don't want the King Tower, so I'm just going to go for it. Everyone got it. But, so yeah, you never want your enemy's King Tower activated. Some matchups, it doesn't matter most in the world, it's just oddly annoying. But other matchups, if they activate their King Tower, it is over, and they just win. There are a lot of decks, actually, where pretty much your win condition is just activate your King Tower. Though, of course, since we're so early on, we don't have any fancy cards that can pull off a King Tower activation yet. So I'll show you better what I mean by not activating the King Tower. So like, spell. If I hit arrows in the tower, that's okay. Arrows in the King Tower, that's not okay. Do not hit the King Tower. Still making roughly the same first plays. Honestly, I probably should have swapped out something for... I should have swapped out something for archers. Split minions. You notice how he split minions there? I told you near the beginning that split minions was a good play, so you can tell this guy knows what he's doing. I'm gonna fireball this musketeer. Oh, that's a low-level musketeer, so it full dies to my fireball. It sucks. Musketeer is not supposed to get fully killed by a fireball, but because my fireball is a high level, it full kills. There are a lot of unfortunate interactions like that in this game. That was very aggressive arrows, but I was down elixir, so he basically just gave it back to me. The reason I was down elixir is because I fireballed the musketeer after it already killed my stuff, so like, he got the value he wanted out of the musketeer, and then I killed it. So technically I was down elixir, but I didn't mind because I didn't mind being down elixir because I got all that damage on his tower. Is he just not gonna play it? Okay. I'm gonna giant the back. Since I have a knight in this lane, he can't really afford to just allow my... He can't afford to play something over here because my knight would get to his tower too soon, so he wouldn't have enough elixir to defend both the knight and the giant. That Valkyrie barely worked. I'm gonna hover my fireball for his musketeer, yep. You notice that that should not have killed his musketeer. If this was an equal level interaction, I actually wouldn't have even fireballed. The only reason I fireballed that is because I knew it would kill his musketeer. I'm going to knight. This should counter the entire push. I've got to stop playing my Goblin Hut on this Battle Ram, because his Battle Ram is only 4 elixir and my Goblin Hut is 5. He fireballed my tower, which you don't look to see, so he got a bit of damage there. I'm going to mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm tempted to just minion the river here. He's only got a level 3 tower, which means that for some reason he has the ability to level up cards and just is choosing not to. I'm going to Knight Gobs this. That's my best response that I have in hand. I'm going to get a second mini P.E.K.K.A. down. This is not looking good for him. Push, it's going. I'm going to minions Knight. Once again, my best counter I have in hand. It's over for him. This time, actually, I won because I had the higher levels. I mean, of course, I probably would have won if he had the higher levels too, but... level interactions are always really unfortunate. So, keep on moving. I worry about the deck composition, actually, because just the way that the deck is formatted, I'm not getting as much value as I should be. I'm actually thinking that I'm going to remove Gob Hut and put in Archers back. So I'm playing Arrows Bait, but no Gob Hut. So I've got 3 Arrows Bait cards instead of 4, so I think that should work out pretty decently. In a bait deck, I did say it's important to have lots of swarms because you want to have some way to punish them once they've used their swarm card, once they've used their small spell. But you also don't want to have only swarm cards, or else they're going to kill you with a splash card or something. Giant mini P.E.K.K.A. the river is a bad play. It's just a bad play. Like, if he had gotten a lucky starting hand, maybe it could have worked out for him, but it was just a bad play. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is supposed to one-shot a Musketeer. The fact that it didn't, concerning. I'm going to let those Spear Goblins go. I could play something on them, but I'm already... I think we're about even on Elixir right now, and if I counter those Spear Goblins, I'm going to be down Elixir. And I don't mind taking a tiny bit of chip. That's like 140 damage, and... I mean, I took his whole tower, so... It's not like I'm exactly lacking in damage. I'm gonna play my Archers on this. Mini P.E.K.K.A. on the Giant. That'll full counter. Should full counter. Might not full counter. Didn't full counter. What? It looks like he's ignoring my Knight. A Knight is a heavy thing to ignore. You should not be ignoring that. I'm gonna Giant here. It protects my Archers. Also pulls this mini P.E.K.K.A., but that's accidental. I think it'll accident. I minions to kill his mini P.E.K.K.A. once it was pulled towards my Giant. And arrows to make sure that I killed all of his Spear Gobs. I'm gonna Goblins his Musketeer. could have played my knight. The knight would survive, but the goblins are cheaper, so he doesn't have to play anything on my knight. He doesn't have to play anything on the counter, but I spent less elixir, so I don't mind. It's on him to set up a push now. I'm actually gonna wait. I don't mind waiting. I can play. I could play something, but I've got no reason to. Because I'm the one that's in advantage. He's the one that has to push into me. That's something that I think is very important to realize. You don't have to go and make something happen. A lot of the time trying to make something happen will be your doom. What you need to do is wait for an opportunity to make something happen. Don't expect that you'll just be able to go out there and make it happen. I'm going to knight this. I was kind of hoping to protect both my archers, but I guess one is fine. I'm going to mini peck at the back because it looks like he's going to giant in this lane. He's never played anything in this lane for some reason. I'm going to minions archers with musketeer. Just snipe it out right now. Arrows. And that's it. You'll notice that the theoretically correct play here is not to continue playing offense, but once you've successfully taken a tower, just play defense. Most decks are not quite like that, but with a mid-weight deck like this, it is the correct play. We got season points, even though we can't use the season shop. Great. We're actually only 20 XP off of unlocking the season shop, so I'll see about using some wild cards to unlock that. This should be enough. And there we go. Events unlocked. Boop. Yep. Not gonna. Yeah, I know. Okay, now I'm gonna explain it. So, first I'll flip this chest. We got a lot of stuff to do in this tab right now. I'll probably make a second video actually just going over everything there is to do on this side. We're gonna have a lot to do here as a free-to-play player, because we want to use this shop. You notice, these are cosmetics, you don't need them. But look at all this. Cards, Evo Shard. This is very important. You can only get 2 of these per month, and this is one of them. So you want to buy that card, and you want to reach the end of this track. You want to reach the end of this track where you can get the other one. Those are the only 2 free ones that you're guaranteed to get per month. Now, I believe that actually progression should slow down a little bit. Yeah, we're not going to be unlocking anything important for a while now. Not a long while, dang. Yeesh. Forever. Okay. Well. When do we unlock Clan Wars? King level 10? Well, so, yeah. This, I would have to play 15 games in this mode, 10 games in this mode, and 2 games in this mode, so I'm not going to do all that today. I'll probably do just the triple draft and the regular mode for a second video today, but right now we're just going to keep working on the arena. We gotta unlock all these cards before we can start really grinding on the progression stuff. Giant. I'm gonna knight the back. Knight is a pretty safe play. I've got 3 DPS cards in hand. I want something to tank for my DPS cards. Hut opposite lane is a bad play, because he's basically admitting that he's not going to support his giant. I played my gobs to tank for the spear gobs. He's got a level 7 gob hut, which concerns me. I'm going to go in here. This is quite a tense situation. You notice we're kind of going opposite lane of each other. He's got a bunch of stuff on my tower, I got a bunch of stuff on his tower. I had the arrows late, I took some damage. I'm sure he'll take a lot more damage. I'm pretty sure that's tower down. That's good. I'm going to send gobs in here. Barbarians are supposed to 2-shot goblins, but because they're low level, once again, they get hit. They get killed easily. I believe those archers should kill the mini P.E.K.K.A. Yes, they do. Okay, so he just played right into a negative trade there. 4 elixir mini P.E.K.K.A, 3 elixir archers. I'm +1. So, this time, the reason why he's losing is a case of micro. So, micro is a term for how well you place your cards. And then the opposite of micro is macro. Macro is not how well you place your cards, but which cards you place. Oh, I can't get a giant down in time. That kind of sucks. I guess I'll just let this kind of push that off. I'm really tempted to go Giant the River and then preemptive Fireball his Barbarians. But his Barbarians, I'm pretty sure, are too high level for me to Fireball them, which kind of sucks. Yeah, like look at this. Level 5 Fireball, level 6 Barbarians, doesn't kill. So even if I prediction Fireballed, it wouldn't work. But he's actually kind of screwed right now because he played his Barbarian, his two best Giant counters at the river into the counters to the Giant counters, so... And because he just Fireballed that, I can start spamming my Swarms. I mean, look at all those units. I've got 4 archers and minions. The Ram just got shredded. I'm gonna mini P.E.K.K.A. Gobs. It's kind of a death ball. He has to realize that in order for him to survive here, he has the arrows, but I don't even know if he has arrows. GG. Easy. Have we unlocked some new cards that got expired? I don't think so. Giant chest. Oh, I got giants out of the giant chest. Well, what do you know? Even though there's nothing important that we're getting from level ups right now, I'm going to continue leveling up my cards. The reason for that is that, so like you see on the left side here, it shows King Tower level. We need to get our King Tower all the way up to level 15. And that's going to take a long time. So we're going to need as much experience as we can get, even if it's cards that we're not really planning to use. Another lucky draw, let's see what we get. 68 bombers. And we also unlock level 9. Oh, okay. You notice, finally we're starting to get mostly level 6 cards. And by mostly I mean 3 of 8, so less than half. Kind of, by definition, the opposite of mostly. I can use star points now. By the way, star points are this thing. They allow you to make your cards look fancier. Like, level 2, they have gold daggers, and on level 3 they have mohawks. So some of the star point upgrades are pretty worth it, but for now, I'll probably just ignore it. Looks like we're 2 games away from the next arena, so the video might be wrapping up soon. See how it goes. I don't want archers because I've only got my 1 anti-air now. I took out, I didn't have minions close to my hand. Whoa there, okay. That's a lot of stuff. The Ram's probably going to connect, which sucks, but there's nothing I could have done about it because I was playing off my starting hand, so there was literally nothing I could have done better. Except, of course, for spending money getting the higher card levels, but... I don't mind this. I'm only down 300 damage. It's not the worst thing in the world. You're gonna be down damage off the first interaction quite a bit. People are just gonna try and get lucky, and it works because on average somebody's gonna get lucky, so you're gonna be fighting the lucky ones. Oh, mini P.E.K.K.A. his Ram again. He didn't support it this time very well, so mini P.E.K.K.A. should kill it pretty quick. I'm gonna Knight the River actually, because this mini P.E.K.K.A. is important. It's my stuff killer. If I allow him to kill my mini P.E.K.K.A., then I'm not killing his stuff anymore. If I'm not killing his stuff anymore, then I'm dead. Hovering a fireball just in case. That's not worth fireballing. Knight's too tanky to be worth fireballing. And you notice now, because he's playing poorly, I've gotten all my damage back already. I could fireball those archers, don't feel like it. I would rather play in units because, yeah, it's been my King Tower, shows how much he knows about the game. I'd rather play in units because, if I just play... Yeah, it's a very obvious battle. If I just play spells on his tower, it's gonna take me a long time to finish it, like 118, so that's 3 fireballs and an arrows. That's a long time. I'm gonna minions behind my giant. My giant will take a little bit of damage, but I get minions out of it, and his minions die anyway. I'm gonna archers high. He hasn't shown me arrows, I believe. Oh, that hit one of my archers. That sucks. Okay. I'm gonna gobs the river. I'm gonna arrows this because I really need that mini peck to die. Block the knight at the bridge, and then mini peck there. Fireball the minions. Need my mini peck alive. Interesting archers. I'll let that go. Minions, cover goblins just in case. Oof. Okay. The only reason that didn't get a hit on my tower was because of my king tower activating. Because that one king tower shot is what stopped the... I'm gonna use my knight to stop the mini pecker from getting hit. I should have been faster there. That's actually my fault. I know he doesn't have... Oh, he does have arrows. Never mind. He's just not using them well. Okay. So, I'm going to play gobs and minions to try and get him to play a fireball. He's not going to fireball. Okay. That's that game now. The reason why I wanted him to fireball is because if he fireballed, then he couldn't kill my archers. My archers could get good value. A lot of great stuff. And this should be the last game of the day. Yeah. Mini P.E.K.K.A. Slap it. Oh, that's gonna get a couple more shots on my tower because... I forgot. Okay. 2 bad things happened there. First of all, minions are supposed to counter a mini P.E.K.K.A, but they didn't because it's a low level. I forgot that it didn't, so it's technically on me. Second of all, Battle Ram, if you play a mini P.E.K.K.A right on it, is not supposed to get any hits on your tower. And of course, you can see by my tower, it did, so things are not exactly going my way right now. But I should be adapting faster. I don't love this situation. We got Spear Gobs and a Valk, and I'm not going to have much to counter those Spear Gobs once they're at the river. I'll Knight. And then once the Spear Gobs are targeting my Knight, then I will minions. That's a decent Battle Ram, but Goblins do crazy damage, so they should full counter the Ram. You notice those Goblins counter the Ram even better than the mini P.E.K.K.A, and they're a level lower than the mini P.E.K.K.A. Oh, no, they're not. They're equal level, but still. Goblins are kind of crazy. That's a level 8 Musketeer. Jeez. I'm gonna have to eat some bomber damage there, because this stuff is just too high level. I can't afford to spend any more elixir. I need to save my elixir for defense. I played my knight as low as possible so that the tower would have time to chip down the mini P.E.K.K.A, so my knight took no hits. If I played my knight too high, then it would take hits. I have to fireball this. Ordinarily, I would play my goblins, but the musketeer is really high health. I don't trust that goblins will actually kill it, so I decided to fireball. I know that fireball is guaranteed to counter the musketeer. Play my goblins high. The reason I played them high like that is so that the minions would target them after they die. I'm gonna mini P.E.K.K.A knight so that I guarantee this gets no hits on my tower. It's a bit overkill, but if I don't, it's underkill. You notice actually I'm down elixir right now. Well, not elixir, I'm down damage right now because I just haven't been able to set up any pushes because he just plays cards and I'm gradually going down elixir. I'm gonna arrows that. That's decent. I'm going to archers, knight. I'm going to ignore that bomber, I have to. That's gonna go for my tower, isn't it? Yeah, that really sucks. I'm going to gobs this musketeer. I might actually lose this game because stuff is 3 levels higher. 3 levels is about the point when it's approaching unwinnable. That's gonna connect. I have to fireball. I have to think about this. How am I gonna defend? He played a knight. I'm gonna mini P.E.K.K.A archers, arrows the gobs. Okay, please tell me that doesn't kill. If that mini P.E.K.K.A killed that musketeer, I have a chance, but it didn't, so I don't. I have to let that musketeer lock on my tower and then minions afterwards. I'm sacrificing a little bit of tower health to get my minions on the board. I'm going to ignore that goblin hunt because it won't take my tower. It'll do a little damage, but it won't kill me. Let's see. I have to fireball this musketeer. I just need to kill the musketeer. The musketeer is a good killer of stuff, but just killing my stuff too efficiently. I have to knight this. That's a terrible knight placement. I'm playing a little funny right now because I'm playing a little funny because I'm off kilter from this huge level difference. I need a better deck against overleveled players, clearly. My best counter to what do I do against an overleveled musketeer? So just give it a think for a moment. There isn't really much I can do because I don't have any of the major swarms. I do have barbs, so I suppose I should use barbs. I would put them in over goblins. Knight didn't help me much that game. Most of the time I had Knight, I was wishing I had something else in hand, so I might actually put in Skellies. This is looking pretty decent now. Archers were helping, but they weren't helping enough. I think I needed something that hits harder than archers. Cannon. What's the cannon DPS again? 212, and archers are more than 212. So archers actually hit hard enough that they're worth keeping. I think this is a solid enough deck for now. So, there is no reason this deck should work anymore. Like, I'm not playing bait, I'm not playing I'm not playing an effective version of Giant Beatdown. I'm just playing stuff that I hope will work. I'm gonna fireball this minion. You notice I went down 1 elixir there. I barely even made it out with an even trade. So, yeah, I guess not even a player like me can get out completely unscathed with all of these high-level cards. Look at level 7. 2-level difference is when it becomes difficult. 3-level difference is when it nears impossible. So I'm defending well enough right now. His tower is actually level 3, which is a big advantage for me. So I should be trying to attack a lot, because I want to take advantage of the fact that his tower is low level. You really have to be vicious to make it in the level games. He's very slow. They're giving me a bot because I lost. Oh, that sucks. They're probably giving me a bot because I lost. Yep. Oh, that's game. So, yeah, I didn't actually mention this before, but yeah, 3-level difference is usually the point where you're losing. You can beat a 1-level difference if they're bad, you can beat a 2-level difference if they're really bad, but a 3-level difference, it's approaching unwinnable very quickly. They need to be garbage for you to win a 3-level difference game. I'm gonna minions the back. It's good arrows value if he arrows it, but if he does arrows it, I can barbs. I'm going to Giant the River to protect my stuff. He has a level 7 Musketeer, so that's a 2-level difference. And a level 7 minion. Don't love to see it, not at all. That Giant should be dead right now, but it's not. That was actually a very well-timed fireball. I kind of doubt that he actually did time it that well, but even if it was an accident, I'll mention it. So what the fireball did was, my mini P.E.K.K.A raised its sword to swing, but didn't actually swing, because the fireball knocked it right as the sword was about to come down. So it, like, resets the mini P.E.K.K.A's knockback swing. I have to be aggressive here, because the only way I'm going to beat someone who's playing like this, with higher level cards, is to just go in and wait for them to make some incorrect play. Like, say, putting their knight and their musketeer too close together. And it looks like he didn't get punished at all for it, because he has really high level stuff. He should have taken, like, 500 damage there, but Didn't work out. I should stop talking in terms of shoulds, because there is only R, not should. It is what it is. Those archer skellies should take that out, unless the archer one-taps. Yeah, if the Valk didn't one-tap the archers, that would have full countered, but because it didn't, it didn't. I'm going to giant the back now. So what I need to do is I need to fireball arrows his musketeer the instant he plays it. And that's nice, he gave me a long time to react, so I can fireball arrows this. That was 7 for 7, so I'm doing pretty well right now. I'm going to mini P.E.K.K.A, he's going to mini P.E.K.K.A. My giant push is practically dead now because his mini P.E.K.K.A just hits harder than me. I'm going to Skelly's giant the opposite lane, barbs. The reason I'm gianting the opposite lane is because I don't think he's cycled back around his counters yet. Well, he has 2 counters, I forgot. He's probably going to play his musketeer soon. I'm waiting for a musketeer. He's not going to play his musketeer. He's moderately, he has intelligence above 0. Hey, I'm recording a video. So, he's, yeah. It's okay. There was nothing I really could have done better. I mean, I tried to play around it, but he's just got higher level stuff than me. It surprises me a little bit that people who play moderately competent are so low. So, if you look at his deck, he has no swarm, so theoretically my mini P.E.K.K.A should have been getting the same value. But the issue is that my mini P.E.K.K.A just flat out loses to his mini P.E.K.K.A, so it wasn't actually getting the value that it needed to get. We might be sitting here a while before we get to 1K trophies. Minions first, arrows first play. I'm gonna minions the back. I can't exactly expect to punish him for arrows first play. It's just an elixir, but level 4 knight. This guy's got low levels, so he's probably good at the game. Yeah, I can tell by that. That's a good fireball value. I'm gonna take it. Hits the musketeer and the knight. His musketeer, that's the correct interaction, by the way, because his musketeer is not supposed to die to just a fireball. It's supposed to die to fireball and something else. I'm pretty sure I have to respond to these minions because the levels, but you're supposed to respond to minions, so I don't mind that. Let's see how this game plays out. I mean, I'm really just gambling to see if the level differences are too high. He's playing minions, muskie, knight, arrows, mini P.E.K.K.A. That's 5 of his 8 cards. Minions, arrows, musketeer, mini P.E.K.K.A, knight. Giant the river is not a good play. He's playing better, but not good. He's got better micro, but worse macro. Not worse macro. He's got better micro and better macro, but he doesn't have high levels, so it's not working. I think that's how I should space Royale. That's really good fireball value. I'm gonna hit that. Up. I'm gonna ignore this Night Archer. It's not worth it for me to play anything at the river. Archers and Skellies both walk slowly, so if I play them at the river, he's gonna have so much time to counter them that it wouldn't be worth playing. Plus, he just let the giant take his whole time, so. Let's play my archers, see what he does. Since he's leaking elixir, I'm gonna play my giant. Oh, he wasn't leaking elixir, he was just down that much, I guess. Look at my Skellies. My Skellies are level 7. My Skellies are my highest level card, that's crazy. They're the one that matters the least. I'm gonna mini P.E.K.K.A here. Crazy play, I know, but I'm kind of ignoring his entire push. I played my archers to pull the mini P.E.K.K.A away from the giant so I can play my barbs on the archers. I can play my barbs on the mini P.E.K.K.A. Not the mini P.E.K.K.A is dead, the push is practically worthless because the mini P.E.K.K.A is the scary part. The mini P.E.K.K.A is gone. The rest of the stuff only does minor amounts of damage. And because I was going opposite to him, I got all that damage and ended up taking his tower. Am I next to Arena? I am not next to Arena. Yeah. Wait, am I still? Okay, only 1 win off. 1 win off for the 3rd time now. We will see how the level's gonna look. This guy has a banner, which kind of sucks. So maybe people are like coming back to their old alt accounts. How's this gonna work? Spear Gods are back. That's an odd play. I'm gonna arrows it 'cause I've got nothing better to counter them with. It's a negative trade, but I don't mind. Alternative was taking a huge amount of damage. Level 8. Don't love to see it. Don't love to see it. He fireballed nothing. This guy's probably bad enough that I can win the 3-level difference. I have to let that go. If I was Lightning McQueen, I could have reacted and fireballed those barbs, but because I am not Lightning McQueen, they would have killed my entire giant anyway. So I just decided to let it go. And even though I got more damage than he did, even though I dealt more damage to his tower than he did to mine, I'm still down because his tower starts with more health than mine. Which is fun. Yippee! But we're here to experience the challenge of beating some of the higher level stuff than you, so... Grr. Hooray! So yeah, I guess there's nothing really to talk about right now because I'm making these self-explanatory plays. That fireball is not self-explanatory. That fireball is not just not self-explanatory, that is beyond explanatory. I'm gonna wait a second and then arrows the Mega Minion. If I didn't wait, I could have gotten a giant hit on the tower, but I decided I would rather just kill everything, make sure he can't counter push with it. I'm actually gonna barbs this, believe it or not. I mean, it's kind of an overreaction, but level 5 barbs versus his level 8 stuff, it's honestly kind of a reasonable reaction. It should have been an overreaction in an equal level play. Ooh, that... I suspect that wasn't intentional, but I'll act like I got predicted. Oh no, I got predicted. How's this gonna work? I'm still down elixir, by the way. I'm gonna fireball, not elixir, I'm still down damage, by the way. He's actually up damage now. Like he has... We've both gotten 400 damage on each other's towers. Or I start 200 down, so I am 200 down. I need to do more than he does before I can win, not just... Okay. I'm gonna arrow this. It's not gonna go anywhere because the Mega Minion opposites. Okay, I think this is my chance to go in. I'm going to fireball this. I'm getting a couple giant hits. That could have been 3 if it was equal level, but I should stop complaining about levels. I complain about levels all the time, but complaining will not make it go away. Let's see. This is a good situation to be in, actually. He doesn't have any of his good giant counters in hand because he played his Mini-Pekka and Mega Minion at the river. And he just got cutted, so I'm going to ignore those Spear Goblins and all in him right now. Because I need damage. Damage! Mini-Pekka slap. And another Mini-Pekka slap. Okay. One of the best ways to try and win a matchup that isn't working out is to go split lane. You notice I had a giant push in one lane, and then I went Mini-Pekka in the other lane. But looks like we made it to the end of this arena, so hopefully we'll unlock Inferno Tower soon, and Inferno Tower will be our absolute best friend on this journey. But for now, that should be all. So, see you guys next time.